As the presidential aspirant of Federal Republic of Nigeria today,
yes,
what's your vision? What's your dream for this country, Nigeria?
I promise all Nigerians that if I successfully implemented my program called structural reform, 160 million Nigerians, in fact 160 to 180 million Nigerians are going to go above $10 a day. And we will succeed in putting about 40 million Nigerians directly into a middle class. 40 million Nigerian households.
Wow.
Because my target is to see that Nigeria is completely away from poverty. And that's my mission.
How do you intend to achieve that?
To achieve that is to power the market, to enable the economy to work for everybody, to create policies that will help all-inclusive economic and political system, to bring back our tertiarization into secondary economy so that we can have industries. We have a lot of agricultural land that is producing a lot of resources, but those resources are not powering manufacturing industries, and thereby we don't have jobs. And this is a very serious problem. When you have a massive population, Nigeria is one of the countries that have the best demography in the world. Almost half of Nigerians, 42.5% of Nigerians are below the age of 15 years. That is a massive demographic workforce. It's a workforce, it's also a consumer class. We have this consumer class and we are wasting it at the mercy of oil. I believe Nigerians are more stronger, more powerful, more energetic, more driven when they have the enabling platform than when they focus on oil. I always give example with our diaspora community. There are less than 17 million people in our diaspora community, but they are remitting 10% of our GDP. This is how hardworking we are when we have the right platform. Yet, that 10% of our GDP is not what we even have to power our annual budget in this country. What we have to power our annual budget is even less than 10% of the GDP. How can we be living in a country like this when we have massive population that just require the economy to open, and then we are shutting down our borders? We are sending people away, sending investors away. We are creating draconian policies. We are putting ourselves on arbitrary pride that we are giant of Africa, simply because we are lying to ourselves instead of us to build the country and enable the borders, flatten these borders with bridges. Make sure people come, make sure we have investors in Nigeria. I promise you that if we have even an investor that is investing up to $100,000 in Nigeria, we will give him citizenship if he wants. We need dollars to come into our economy so that we can power our productivity. We have a lot of resources that are abandoned in this country. Coal, we export it, something we need for our electricity. We have wind, wasting. We have solar, wasting. We don't have electricity because politicians are interested in the money that come into CBN so that they can take their share. We can't continue to live in a country where people are killing themselves simply because of what they want to eat. Whoa. The farmer and the herdsman crisis is simply fighting because of food. It has nothing more than that. All the crisis that is happening in Zamfara is simply because of food. How do you have in the 21st century people are struggling to eat in a country where there is surplus? Not just abundance, but surplus. We can't agree. So it is time for us to all rise up, retire these people, our political class, so that the new generations of Nigerians that truly believe in Nigeria, that are true Nigerians, because we are born within the territory called Nigeria, that are true Nigerians, step over and do the right thing. And that is why my promise is to see that by the year 2035, we have Nigeria as one of the greatest nations in the world. Oh. And we will deliver that promise. Yeah. I know that my tenure may be 8 years. If I win election, it's an election upon satisfaction of Nigerians. After which, we will have an institutional platform that will build the next leadership that will deliver this country to that promise. And I'm telling you that by the year 2035, there will be no Nigerian that cannot have job except if you wish not to. Because it happened in many countries. Okay. China today is forcing rural-urban migration because they want cheap labor. Forcing people to come to the urban areas to get work. That's what is happening in China today. If our leaders don't have the conscience to see the need for new things in this country, we should stand up. We use the blessing that is at our mercy, which is democracy, at a time.
Okay. Yes. So I want to speak into the camera. Tell Nigerians what you require for them to do 2019 elections.
I want Nigerians to do one thing. Go and get your PVC. This is the only power you have. The power you have in 2019 is the democracy that is upon us, which is the power for us to change what will work for all of us. It is time for us to stand up and do the right thing in 2019. I am guaranteeing you that if you give me the opportunity to be the president of this country, none of you will ever regret it. And I am guaranteeing you that my contest for the president of this country is pushed by the conscience within me, not because of any other gratification. And therefore, I promises you that if you give me this opportunity to be the president of this country in 2019, none of you nor any of your grandchildren will ever regret the decision you take to make Adamu Garba to the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from 2019. I assure you this.